I'll wait a few minutes. I give people time to come over from uh, where we were at broadcasting from earlier. So I'll wait a few minutes before I start. Hey, Lori, I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I'm gonna let everybody come over, then we'll start. Tasia, I'm gonna give it a few minutes, and then we'll start. Can y'all hear me? Is your sound on, Lori? Sister, yes. Okay, okay. Annabella, I'm glad you came over. I appreciate that. I'm sorry we had to transfer over here, but you know they tripping on us over there. But we're not gonna let them hold us down. We're gonna keep going. And look, I'm gonna rewind it to the beginning of the video where we was listening to Orlando Brown. I'm gonna rewind it because we had all that going on, had to stop, and so um, we'll go ahead and pick it up from the beginning. All right, I'm gonna start, and as people come in, we'll just they can jump in where we are. Right, Annabella. Yeah, exactly, exactly. We can talk more here. This message is held for review. What message? Ah, that wasn't even bad, Lori. I don't know. See, okay, 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 okay. Right, there is more than one way, though, Bestie. You correct. Thank you for thinking about that.
Okay, only to 10.
Okay, that's good. That's
good. Children and pineapple.
Pancake is to have the consistency of young human flesh.
It's spongy, it has life to it.
You're with a guy with brightly colored undergarments, and you got soft human flesh in front of you. You're in a weird place.
I'm looking forward to this. This is really, really going to be great.
Being entrapped and people, adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials.
You know they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
You believe that children are being abused by pedophiles in Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So why are you sitting down talking to me? Why aren't you sitting down with the police right now?
I've told the police. I sat there and I gave them the names. But they were scanning Michael Jackson. All they cared about was trying to find something on Michael Jackson.
Hold up. Was Orlando Brown also getting tossed around on Epstein Island this entire time? Baby. I suggest you grab a chair for this one because it's about to get really messy. Everything is really finally fitting. Brashear Gray, Orlando Brown, Aaron Carter, looks like they all went through this network. Orlando Brown had been speaking on this for decades. Like, he literally talked about that black eye throry, but no one believed him. And now with the Epstein files out, it really looks like he experienced everything firsthand. Allegedly, Orlando Brown was shipped off to Epstein's Island at 17. It was already known that he was played by these industry executives, but people still didn't fully understand just how messed up things were until his recent confession. And according to him, his supposed mental illness is actually a front to protect himself so the elites wouldn't end his life. Orlando first spoke on Epstein all the way back in 2022, but just like everyone else who did, people swore that he was crazy and completely dismissed everything he said. He claimed Epstein was involved in kidnapping celebrities, placing them in passed-away celebrities' bodies, and mistreating them on a private little beach. Apparently, the reason why Epstein was able to get away with this for so long is that these celebrities were supposed to be dead. No one ever suspected. He also confirmed the long-standing conspiracy theory that Epstein isn't dead.
Jeffrey Epstein created this saga, and this is what he is great at doing. He's great at kidnapping someone, turning them into putting them in a celebrity's body and screwing the life out of them after he makes a ton of money off of their ass on his private little beach. So you have a private little beach full of celebrities and bodies getting screwed, and nobody cares because they're supposed to be dead. And this has been a major market that he tried to blame on Oprah Winfrey.
But he wasn't done, y'all. According to Orlando, Epstein had also been in cahoots with Nickelodeon Disney to supply under 18-year-olds to powerful Hollywood elites in the industry. He also went into details about a supposed Hollywood ritual that involves doing demeaning things to a person through their backside for a prolonged period of time. When this ritual happens, the victim gets something he calls panda eyes. Oh, and remember those rumors about CT victims being passed off to big companies and being used for TV commercials? Orlando claims those are not just rumors, they are facts.
Panda, like I was telling you, panda. So you got panda panda is a secret code for a certain thing. And so when it comes down to that certain thing, it's so. What it is
hey, Kim, you made it in.
You basically have a certain nerve in your rectum, and if you touch that nerve, you can turn a person into an animal. You can turn a person into whatever you want them to be if you just hold them down. So pretty much when you see black eyes like Blueface, and you know that he got beat up, but he didn't get beat up where you thought he got beat up. He got beat up somewhere else. Okay, and so
what up, Raphael?
The eyes come out, and they call them panda
talking about
eyes.
what's going on or what happened on
So you see
Island.
people with these cigars, and they're you know all these big celebrities. They all have the cigar in common. That's that big ass thing between their legs that they're sticking in, and it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of they're shipping and people. Adults, the moms, the dads, right there on Target commercials, right there on Walmart commercials. And you're looking at the people that are missing, and they're smiling like they're happy, but they're going back to hell. And that's really what it is, you know.
Now, even though the industry has been trying to convince us that he was crazy, now with those files out, people were quickly realizing the things he said directly correlate with all the evidence we have now. And the crazy part is, he said it way before the Epstein list came out. Unless, of course, you're saying he's some magician who could see into the future, it's safe to say he knew what he was talking about because he witnessed it. And he witnessed it because he was possibly one of the victims of the island. The sad part about all this is that before they got Orlando, he was a promising actor in Hollywood. He was one of the highest-rated teen actors at the time, and was especially known for his role as Eddie Thomas in That's So Raven. But right after the show ended, his entire life flipped upside down, and so did his career. The first controversy he was involved in was in 2007, when he was arrested for substance possession at just 19. He was initially pulled over around 1 a.m. for driving without headlights, but when police searched the vehicle, they found pot in the driver's side door and arrested him immediately. He was charged with misdemeanor, but denied ownership, claiming the car was borrowed. This marked his first major post-Disney legal trouble, but it was definitely the first of many, and it affected his career big time. Now, after this, he managed to stay off police radar for a while, until 2011, when he was arrested again on suspicion of a DUI during a traffic stop. The reason the police even approached him was because he didn't have a license plate. He ended up behind bars for 27 days after failing to show proof that he had completed a 180-day court-ordered alcohol education class. And then in 2013, he was already back in jail again. This time, he reportedly attacked a woman and made threats against her and her daughter. The police even leaked an audio tape of him making the threats, and he sounded like a straight lunatic. He later went to rehab, but that didn't help much either. It's like it didn't matter what he did or how hard he tried. He just kept getting into trouble all the time. In fact, in 2016, he was arrested again after allegedly allegedly striking his girlfriend during an argument. Just 2 years later after this, he was arrested yet again. His last arrest was in 2022 when he threatened a relative with a hammer and knife during a domestic incident. Do y'all see how similar this is to the Bryshear Gray incident? After the Empire ended, Bryshear also getting arrested for similar cases. In fact, in one of the interrogation clips with the officers, you could see Bryshear talking about someone coming to get him. And now Bryshear is a Twitter corn star, and Orlando has occupied his time with exposing the industry. And that's when he began spilling all the tea about what these Hollywood elites have been getting up to. But both...
See, Orlando Brown was right, bro. And I was saying...
I'm going to pause it real quick, y'all. I got a phone call. I cannot believe I got a phone call. With those of my people that's in here from Marietta. I was just told that they found a black man, strange fruit, in Fair Oaks Park. I'm waiting. He's going there. My boy's going over there. My little brother going over there now. He's gonna let me know. He's heading that way to Fair Oaks Park right now. If it's true, I'll let you know. And of course, I'll definitely be putting that on Facebook. But I hope it's not true. Well, we'll find out. But yeah, once again, my people tuning in from the May, it's being said that a BLK man was found strange fruit from a tree in Fair Oaks Park this morning.
And the same thing in my video with Blueface that, like, yo, those tattoos, something's up with that, bro. Like, I don't know why he would do that. You feel me? It looks odd. People got on me like, oh, bro, you're not a schoolyard Crip, bro. You don't know what they're into. You don't get it, bro. You don't get why he got the Chase Bank logo tattooed on his thing. You don't get why he got all those logos of companies that he doesn't own, you know what I mean, on his thing. How do all of those companies represent Crip, bro? How does another man's company represent Crips, right? JP Morgan didn't say Chase Bank represents the Crips. So no, it does not. You can't take something that's already someone else's and say that it represents something else. That would be like if I got a polo sweater and said, no, this is really Nike. This represents Nike. No, the fuck it doesn't. You understand that that's impossible, right? You can't take something that's that already represents something else and say that it now represents this now. No, it doesn't. Right? A polo sweater does not represent Nike's brand, right? A Chase Bank logo does not represent the Crips, bro. No. Like, you could say the color blue does. Yeah, you could say maybe, okay, yeah, the color blue represents them. But just because Chase Bank is blue doesn't mean that represents the Crips, bro. Not everything just represents the Crips. No, that doesn't make any sense, bro. That doesn't make any sense. The Walgreens logo, bro had a Walgreens logo on his face. And people were telling me that the Walgreens logo represents Crips, bro. How? How does another man's brand, Walgreens, represent the Crips? No, y'all are dirty bums trying to claim another man's brand. Like, no, make your own brand that's cool that you could make represent the Crips. You know what I mean? Stop trying to claim someone else's shit. I wouldn't want, if I own Chase Bank or Walgreens, I wouldn't want no dirty Crips in California claiming my shit and tattooing it on their face like it represents what they're going through. No, nigga, y'all are some dirty bums out there. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Nigga, y'all use y'all shit. Don't put my brand on y'all shit. The fuck? That shit don't represent you. Your bum ass self represents you. Y'all hood, y'all block represents y'all. You know what I mean? Don't put my shit on y'all and make it say it represents you. Like, what are we talking about right now? What are we talking about? Like, bro, I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be JP Morgan right now. Right? Like, you'd be like, no, what the fuck? Bro, these are some peons. My shit doesn't represent them. You know what I mean? No, my shit represents my family. You know what I mean? And everything that I stand for. Not for some hooligan shit. Niggas claiming blocks that a real estate developer could shut down in 2 minutes.
Yes, that's
like,
right, sis. Y'all hit that thumbs up button.
One real estate developer shut down that whole lot.
Came a subscriber,
and we're talking about it represents this and that. So I knew people were stupid the moment that they tried to be like, oh yeah, nah, this represents Crip shit, bro. I knew y'all were dumb because you can't take what someone else already created and say it represents something else. That's like if I create a brand. That's like if I create this paper towel right here, right? And because it has blue colors on it, now people are going to take my brand and they're going to say, oh yeah, this represents Crip shit now. No, the fuck it doesn't. Yo, bum ass niggas over there represent that Crip shit.
Don't
Nigga,
put that on
no
me.
other brand represents y'all. No other brand will ever
Nefarious,
claim
welcome
y'all.
in,
Let's
welcome
stop
in.
that madness, that foolishness. Okay? Like, come on, dude. That would be like if I created this brand and niggas start wearing this shit, niggas start tattooing this shit on their face and saying that because this part of this is blue, it represents the Crips. No, that's not how life works, bro.
That's
You
crazy.
gotta start to think for yourself.
That's
Of
crazy.
their careers are over for good. Orlando even went as far as revealing that the reason why industry elites get away is that their parents are also usually in on the whole thing and allow it to happen in exchange for money. The crazy thing is, other celebrities have also come out to say this same thing, and they have also been labeled crazy, with one of them being Corey Feldman, who, just like Orlando, was also a child star and ended up with some serious problems. Corey's comments were also dismissed because people thought it was his addiction that was making him talk crazy, and that he was just making things up for attention. He later released a documentary in
Right,
2020
Annabelle.
titled My Truth, where he name-dropped everyone who SA'd him, including actor Charlie Sheen and talent manager Marty Weiss. These allegations were confirmed by Corey's ex-wife Susie Feldman and his Lost Boys castmate Jamison Newlander, who witnessed some of it happen. But since all this stuff with Epstein came out, people have gone back to revisit the things he also said, and it's safe to say he was also telling the truth, just like Orlando.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
The casting couch even applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia. And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Vultures who Feldman says abused his best friend, the late child actor Corey Haim, his co-star in The Lost Boys. Feldman says the trauma of that pedophile contributed to Haim's death.
There's one person to blame in the death of Corey Haim, and that person happens to be a Hollywood mogul. And that person needs to be exposed, but unfortunately I can't be the one to do it. But the person that knows who did it and knows who he is watching right now. There was a circle of older men that surrounded themselves around this group of kids. And they all had either their own power or connections to great power in the entertainment industry. You know, there's a lot of good people in this industry, but there's also a lot of really, really sick, corrupt people. And there are people in this industry who have gotten away with it for so long that they feel they're above the law. And that's got to change. That's got to stop. I believe that everybody in this world should have the freedom of choice.
And child stars don't.
Child stars have nothing. They have nothing. They have no choice. I was never taught how to have a family. I was never taught how to raise a child because I wasn't raised properly. I was never taught how to care for somebody because I was never shown genuine love. I was shown business. This is what you do. Here's how you read a contract. I knew how to read a contract by 10 years old, but I didn't know what it meant for somebody to come in and tell me they love me and kiss me goodnight.
As usual, people had their thoughts like this person who said, look at all the stars in music, TV, and film that went off the rails between aged 16 and 25. Interview them. They'll tell you the horrors they went through because of the evil in their industries. Another person said, people are wondering why isn't the police or the authorities doing anything to prosecute these powerful men? The answer is in the word powerful. These people are multimillionaires with influence, power, and money in the highest levels of society and government. These people have the resources and power to never allow the authorities to prosecute them because they control the authorities themselves. We're talking about congressmen, high-tech billionaires, heads of state, and even past and present presidents of the United States. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Orlando exposing even more crazy details about Epstein Island? And do you really think the things they are doing are as bad as these whistleblowers are making it out to be?
Yeah, so, I mean, what else is there to be said about it, right? Orlando Brown has been exposing this for as long as there's been this thing to be out. Right? This has always been a thing. And Orlando Brown has been being called crazy. Everyone called him crazy. Everyone said he was wrong. Everyone said this and that. And now they all got to eat their words because everyone who he was talking about has been exposed. Right? From Diddy, right? To we saw Jay-Z was in the Epstein files. Right? So everyone that Orlando Brown had said was doing a lot of freaky madness that people doubted, it all turned out to be true. Everyone who doubted Orlando Brown is a fool. No, okay, that's the reality of the situation. They're all fools. That's why I'm happy. I know my followers. I know the people who watch me consistently on this channel. Y'all are smart. Y'all knew Orlando Brown was right the whole time. Every time I reacted to his videos, I was saying this. No, he's right. No, he's not crazy. Everyone saying he's crazy. Y'all are fools.
That's how they
I
do,
was
though.
always saying this. I was saying the same thing a year ago, 2
Yes,
years ago.
Lord,
I
the
was
more
saying
they
the
release,
exact
the
same
worse
things,
it gets.
bro.
You are so
And I know
right,
my
Bestie.
followers, I know y'all are smart. You know, y'all are on a higher level of intellect than the masses, the foolish, diluted masses, deluded masses. You know what I mean? Their brains are diluted and their minds are deluded. like how you getting hit on both ends with all of those D's, bro? How you getting hit with all of them D's, bro? Pause, bro. Pause. You feel me? That's what's happening on that island. That's what was happening. Orlando Brown was talking about this shit. And what did y'all do? Y'all called him crazy. Y'all said this. Y'all said that. Bro's losing his mind. Bro's doing this. Bro's doing that.
Sis said Philman knew about
Now that y'all boy
his
Hove is
roommate,
getting,
S.A.
you
and
know,
Corey Haim
it looks
and
like he
did
was
nothing.
he was like closer to Weinstein than we thought. It looks like he might have been closer to,
Is that
maybe he was
'cause
closer to Epstein
was
than we thought.
he
There was a tip
afraid?
about him in Epstein
Was it
files. So who knows?
powerful
You
guy?
know what I mean? Like, it's looking bad right now. It's looking shaky, right? Excuse me. This is the moment of truth. This is the moment of truth. Yeah. It's time for everyone to stop glazing, stop worshiping, because if you worship those same celebrities that I just named, you like kids. I know now. I know now. You're in the X-Files. You're in the X-Files. I gotta check it now. Because you're in the X-Files, bro. I might have to check it now. Because I catch your ass defending any of those celebrities. Anyone who was named or in a tip, I don't care what it was, connected to Epstein. Jay, Pusha, I don't care who it is. You're in the X-Files. I gotta check it now. You feel me? I gotta check it now. That's bad, bro. That's bad, bro. That's bad. Don't do that. Don't talk like that. And I hope you're not doing that type of shit, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. I know that's better than a lot of y'all. I know my followers could never do that. My followers could never do something to someone who's, my followers
Right?
could
Yeah,
never
don't
do
say
that
it. Yeah, we got
to a vulnerable individual, right? Who was underage. They could never do that. My followers would never. But some of y'all, I seen y'all defending dudes. I seen y'all defending dudes who was called in tips and all type of shit. I seen y'all defending them. You're in the X-Files. I gotta check it now. You feel me? That's bad. That's bad for you, bro. That's disgusting, dog. You gotta get that shit together, my boy. But let me know what y'all think about this stuff in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications. It's No Filter Noah here. Tuning out. Be easy, y'all.
That's a real spill right there. Give it up to No Filter Noah. That's real feel, right? That's real spill right there, y'all. Shoot, I don't have nothing to say against him on that. Everything he said is true. Lori said he quiet. Wait, hold on. What'd you say? Quietly. Sis said, why doesn't Philman talk about his roommate? Even Hames's mother has told Philman to stop talking about her son. I don't know, sis. The only thing I could think of is that I would say about it, if that was truly his friend, then he should talk about it. Or if his friend's mom has told him respectfully to stop talking about it. I'm trying to figure out where my camera need to be. Stop talking about it, then he definitely should stop talking about it. Like it's just, you have to be respectful. Oh, guilty. Okay, he's guilty then. Okay, I got you. Okay. Just as worse. Have you read about the babies they starved to get them to suck harder? No, Nah, sis, I haven't. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. Now, are these the same? Are these the same? You know, with Je and Trumpstein. Hold on, y'all. Okay, sorry. I'm trying to get updates, y'all, and find out what's what. All right. Okay. It's a role to keep Orlando safe. Oh, nah, and could have gone without knowing. Yeah, I was like, oh shit, you. I mean, I look. I love y'all because y'all be on it, man. But yeah, I didn't know about that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the video we was listening to when we had to stop on the other platform, right? We're going to go back to that where the survivor was talking about being poisoned um, by Jay Z and Beyonce. Allegedly, we'll say allegedly, right?
My likeness has been monetized by some of the world's most powerful entertainment figures. My daughter, who is now
Oh,
18, has also
that's
been
crazy.
targeted. I named Rock Nation, Beyonce, Jay Z, P. Diddy, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Disney, and many other Hollywood actors as a part of a Hollywood centered enterprise profiting from this abuse.
Mm. I read that to y'all.
Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Kim Kardashian, Tyler Perry, Jeffrey Epstein, Disney, and Jane and John Doe 1 through 100. Um, that represents a lot of the celebrities that I did not name.
That's
However,
crazy that he
they
did that
are
though.
a part of this complaint, and it also represents various government actors, including the CIA and other agencies that facilitated my targeting. My preliminary statement is I, Shaquilla Williams, bring this action as a last resort, not for money or legal victory, but to place the truth into public record. My life has been systematically dismantled by a powerful, coordinated
Women and children
network
are off
of
limits. Period.
celebrities, corporations,
Facts.
hospitals, and government actors. I believe I was
Max
placed on a government
Effort
watch list after being
made it in.
poisoned in an Ohio hospital. That placement triggered a series of devastating abuses, identity theft, surveillance, creative and financial exploitation, and trafficking. My likeness has been monetized by some of the world's most powerful entertainment figures. My daughter, who is now 18, has also been targeted. I named Rock Nation, Beyonce, Jay Z, P. Diddy, Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Disney, and many other
Right,
Hollywood actors
Annabella.
as a part of a Hollywood centered enterprise profiting from this abuse. Through this lawsuit, I seek not only relief for the personal harm I've endured, but also a permanent public record of how government power, corporate technology, celebrity influence, and institutional medicine can be fused together into a weapon.
Mm.
I was raised in a family affiliated with the Black Liberation Movement and the organization of Malachi Z. York. This affiliation made me and my family, including myself, a target of
Now Malachi York, Dr. Malachi York ran a cult here in Eastman, Georgia, located that's southeast Georgia, um, and had pyramids built on their compound or whatnot. And he also was arrested for engaging in sexual activities with underage people.
government surveillance and retaliation. In
It
2009, I was
does.
connected
It
to
needs
a
to be
small
brought
music
down, right?
label in Columbus,
Yes.
Ohio. A contract was presented to me, and my mother signed it on my behalf. Soon after,
Jenny said it's in
my
the
mother
file.
passed away under suspicious circumstances at Mount Carmel West Hospital. This hospital has since been sued for wrongful deaths and patient mistreatment. I believe my mother's death was not natural, but rather a consequence of her involvement with that contract and the larger trafficking network. After her death, I experienced a series of events that led to my poisoning in hospitals, including Doctors West and OSU. My medical records from those.
Let me see. Her name is Shakila. That's SHAK. Shakila. Yeah, SHAKIYLA Williams. Shakila Williams. It says Shakila Williams reveals how Jay-Z, Beyonce, Diddy, and many others are involved in racketeering and human trafficking. Max Effort said I had to correct the dude because he was like, well, if Cheeto Taco was in the file, yeah, ain't no if. It ain't no if. Hey, baby girl, we had to come over here. They kept flagging us over on TikTok, so we had to come over here.
Those visits were erased or altered. I believe these poisonings were a coordinated effort to remove me as a threat or to convert me into a commodified vessel within a broader human trafficking system. It is my belief that the hospitals were alerted ahead of my arrival and that the medical staff were instructed not to provide proper care. Each time I sought medical attention for symptoms of poisoning, I was either told that nothing was wrong with me or denied the necessary tests that would have confirmed what was happening to me.
Hold up, y'all, hold up. Now, this is Shakila Williams, and she filed a massive lawsuit back in July 2025, where names as Rot Nation, Jeffrey Epstein, Beyonce, Tyler Perry, Sean Puffy Combs, Disney, and many others were involved. Now, in the paperwork, she laid out an alleged nefarious global network of individuals, including those names that were just mentioned, who essayed and trafficked and abused her. Now, as I stated, this was filed back in July 2025, and there is allegedly another identical case that was filed in 2020, but it was swept under the rug, and the public was told it was a conspiracy theory. Crazy, right? No, it begs the question, why are names like Beyonce and Jay-Z listed so many times in the Epstein files when...
Now, in this picture that they're showing, you have Jay-Z and Beyonce. Beyonce is doing, and y'all, this don't stand for me, but she's doing this right here. Y'all know what that is? 666. And she's got one eye open and one eye closed. Y'all know what that means. I don't know how many more symbols you got to get in one picture before you can figure it out. But yeah.
And we know Jeffrey Epstein spoke in code. It begs that question. But once again, this was filed back in July 2025, but it comes around to bite a lot of people in their back. So I want you guys to watch the full clip and listen to her explanation. I want you guys to watch the full video because it is really, really, really interesting. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Drop a like and subscribe, show some love. But enough of me talking. Check out the rest of the clip.
Though I cannot prove how such a program works, this is what I believe based on my experience. Jeffrey Epstein, a financier and trafficker connected to Les Wexner, has extensive ties to the Columbus, Ohio medical system. Wexner, a major funder of local healthcare institutions, including those linked to Doctors West Hospital, indirectly facilitated a network that enabled my poisoning. I believe Epstein's influence extended through Wexner's financial control of hospitals where my records were altered and my poisoning was carried out. I believe I was placed on a government watch list and labeled a black identity extremist. That label has enabled decades of covert surveillance, identity theft, creative exploitation, economic sabotage, and repeated attempts to psychologically break me. My likeness, voice, and ideas have been stolen and repackaged by celebrities and media companies. I specifically named Rock Nation and Beyonce, Disney, and others. Their works symbolically mirror and profit from the events of my life while I have been silenced and rendered invisible. I was repeatedly followed by unknown individuals who were clearly hired to track my movements and intimidate me. These individuals would sit in cars outside my home for long hours, stand near my door and windows without explanation, and in several incidents fire guns into the air before fleeing the scene, designed to terrorize and destabilize me. I was also stalked while driving. Individuals were paid to follow me on the road, driving aggressively and attempting to run me off the road on several occasions. These dangerous acts were intended to intimidate, create constant fear, and potentially cause harm or force me into an accident. The stalking was persistent and highly coordinated. Police departments were also involved in the stalking. Officers in marked vehicles would aggressively follow me both on and off the road while I was walking or going about my daily activities. They would frequently turn on their lights and sirens directly behind me, only to drive off moments later. Police cruisers will also park outside of my home, flashing their lights into my apartments. These tactics were designed to create fear, instability, and the constant feeling of being watched and threatened. On numerous occasions, my vehicle was broken into or tampered with. These break-ins were not random. They were strategically timed to prevent me from leaving home, working, or attending important appointments.
Hold up, man, hold up. Did you guys hear what she just said? Because over the years, we have always heard how a lot of these powerful people, including Jay-Z, how they send people and stalker at your house and even when you're moving about. Remember when Kanye was on stage and he shouted out, Jay-Z, please don't send your killers to my door. And a lot of people took it as a joke. But as time moved on, we understood and realized that Kanye, he wasn't joking, right? So if a person like Jay-Z can do that, just imagine what these massive company and even Jeffrey Epstein can do. So this is not far-fetched. Matter of fact, I would say it's very possible for a lot of these high powerful celebrities. So for her to say that she was stalked, you know, her life was stalked every single day, her car was broken into, you know, shots were fired, everything they did was try to destabilize her. And as she said, to try and physically and mentally break her. So I really hope you guys actually heard what she just said, man. Matter of fact, everything is really interesting, but that specific part was crazy. That specific part was absolutely crazy. But listen, I'm gonna shut up my mouth. Check out the rest of the clip.
They represent a pattern of sabotage used to keep me isolated and financially dependent. Individuals entered my home while I was away and poisoned my food. These intrusions were covert and calculated, causing unexplained physical symptoms, hospital visits, and trauma. This tactic was used to inflict harm without traceable evidence. Some of my family members were also targeted. They were either threatened or bribed in efforts to turn them against me. In certain cases, relatives were pressured to participate in the spreading of false narratives or isolating me from sources of support. These tactics fractured my family ties and deepened my isolation. Those who attempted to support me or help me were themselves targeted. Some were threatened or stalked or publicly discredited. These tactics ensured that I remained isolated with no support network to escape or to expose the abuse. Defendants and their associates spread defamatory rumors about my sexual health and character within private symbolic circles. They used coded language and insider symbolism to destroy my reputation while avoiding public detection. Symbols were deliberately attached to me, symbols that only I would recognize, so that covert messages could be delivered in public forums. Through these symbolic references, the perpetrators were able to send messages meant to terrorize or control me while the general public remained unaware of their significance. Crisis actors were hired to create and share
It's a
fake
shame that
viral
other countries
stories
do
that
more than
mirrored
our
my
own
lived
country.
experience. These staged stories were used to further psychologically destabilize me, discredit me, and deliver covert threats. These stories often went viral as part of a larger social media trend designed to ridicule, mock, or signal harm to me.
Whoa. No, that was super, super interesting, right? And I don't believe that nothing that she said is far fetched. Matter of fact, I believe everything that she said is extremely possible. Because the moment when you get to understand that it's simple, people with so much power, they have the ability to put or play their hands in a lot of things. Hospitals, food care, shelters, like you name it. Like you name it. They have their hands. That is why they always want
Yeah,
power
Alice.
and control,
Yeah, you're gonna have to go back
especially
and
over the
watch.
new person that comes in to their
I'm gonna have
system.
to end the
Once
live.
you want to
I gotta
level
tap
up, they
into my
want to
city.
have power and control over you. You have to do certain things that they have it that they can use against you because once again, it's power and control. So with everything that she said, including the stalking, the poisoning, they reaching out to her family members, using her family members against her. I don't believe that all of that is far fetched. I believe all of it is in fact very much possible. I believe it. I believe it. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but I believe it. No, do I believe her story?
Man.
When I went ahead and do a research, I'm not gonna lie, man. A lot of things seemed like it was wiped from the internet. Most I could really find was, she versus Rock Nation with some.
What? She from here? All right. So July 2nd, 2025, she filed a lawsuit against Rock Nation LLC. It's 1:25-CV-03718. It's filed in Georgia Northern District. It says William versus Rock Nation LLC ETAL semicolon 2 comma 29 PGS. Complaint Friday was Friday at January 16th. 8:45 a.m. Complaint with jury demand filed by Shaquilla Williams. So it is the thing. It is true.
Files, like documents, but not anything of major importance, I would say. But
Plaintiff Shaquilla Williams, defendant Rock Nation LLC, Sean Carter, Beyonce Knowles, Sean Combs, Anika, Tanya Mirage or Mirage, Maraj, Meghan Markle.
listen, man, what I really have to say is that these things are crazy, right? A lot of our favorite celebrities, and notice I said ours, because really and truly I do see some celebrities that, for example, Kevin Hart, he always makes me laugh. But for some reason, I believe he's not as innocent as he seems, right? So that's just an example. So I'm not saying you guys alone. I'm saying even me, myself, some celebrities that I watch and, tune into from time to time. I find them suspicious, man. I ain't gonna tell no lie. Time is the master. Time is the master. And the more we go along, as the more stuff getting revealed, man. So I ain't gonna tell no lie. Shit is looking very crazy. Very crazy for a lot of these celebrities that were acting, right? Yes, because a lot of them were simply acting. Diddy, Jay-Z, Beyonce, there are some big fish when it comes on to the black community, right? There are some
I agree,
big
Rita.
fish,
Said
man.
no, Kev
And
definitely
I
sold
wonder
out.
why Jay-Z
He's
has
changed a
so much
lot.
power, man. I really wonder why Jay-Z has so much power. And I really wonder why Jay-Z and Beyonce name come up so much in the Epstein files. But I want you guys to let me know your thoughts and perspective on this one. Let me know what you guys believe. Let me know your guys' thoughts and perspective, man. Because Williams, her lawsuit was very interesting. It was very interesting. I ain't gonna tell no lie, but let me know your thoughts, let me know your perspective. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, as it helps out a lot and it will be greatly appreciated, man. I want to say remember to have an amazing day. If you're not having an amazing day, make your day amazing right this moment. Yes, make your day amazing. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to drop a like and subscribe, show some love. Drop a like and subscribe, show some love. It is the boy Premium Celeb, and as usual, I'm out.
Give it up to Premium Celeb for covering that. I didn't even know that. Listen, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me. I'm going to end the show. I know I had 2 more segments to do, but I'll do it tomorrow, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I talked to my boy. He's currently at Fair Oaks Park, and it's true. The young man is still hanging from the tree. So I've got to go tap into my city. I got to find out what are we gonna do about this. How are we gonna stop this? What's going on? I don't know what's going. But y'all know, if you know anything about me, man, y'all know I rep my city. I love my city. I put on for my city. I speak out for my people in my city. You know, and so yeah. So they found a BLK young man hanging at Fair Oaks Park, and I mean, this is where I grew up, man. This is home. This is. I don't. It bothers me. Like, I'm over here, y'all, and I'm listening, but and I owe y'all an apology, because even though I'm supposed to be conducting and listening, I was really checking out after I called my boy, and shout out to Tay Redder. But and he's like, yeah, it's true. I'm standing right here. Look at the body still hanging. I'm like, what? Because he loves Marietta just as much as I love Marietta. You get me? Yeah, yes, Tasia. Fair Oaks Park. Yep. And so to hear that about our city, man, to hear something like this happen. Now, I will say, don't know. It's not even on news, but we don't know if it was self deletion or if it was foul play. He said they're still there. They take the Marietta Police and Cobb County Police is on the scene. They are there. They are, doing their investigation and stuff, taking their pictures and stuff like that, but processing the scene. But he is in the woods, and the bodies is still there. So I got to go. I got to find out what's going on. I got to tap in, man. Yeah. Stuff like this bother me, man. I take it. I feel it. And I think that's me wanting everybody to just love each other. And especially hard when it's your hometown, it's your city, it's a park where you've been. I mean, I've been there several times. This is Tasia. Tasia right here with me. So, like, this is places that we go into and we felt we're safe, and this is a community of people we know that we should be safe amongst them, and this is going on in the backyard. So, like, nah, we can't, you know. So I apologize to y'all. I'm gonna end it now. We'll pick up the other 2 tomorrow. Let me go tap into this. All right. I love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe. Peace and blessings to you all. I love you to life. Oh, tonight, y'all. Tonight, 9 p.m. on Twitch. Go and subscribe to MC3SFT9 and join our show tonight at 9 p.m. for OCWA's Wednesday Night Wreckage.